How do you find a fraction of a group? For example, what is 3/4 of 20? Well, to find 3/4 of 20, what you're really doing is finding 1/4 of 20 and then multiplying that by 3. So on the screen I have 20 purple circles. So let's find 3/4 of 20. Well, we can divide 20 into 4 equal groups. This is one group. This would be a group. There's the third group and the fourth group. So we've divided 20 purple circles into 4 equal-sized groups. And in each group there are 5 purple circles. So each group contains 5. 3 of those groups would contain 3 groups of 5. And 3 times 5 equals 15. So 3/4 of 20 equals 15. Now that's how it looks visually. But you don't want to have to draw circles or squares or whatever every time you have to solve a problem like this. So let's find a shortcut. One way to think about 3/4 of 20 is to think of dividing 20 by 4 and then taking that answer and multiplying it by 3. 20 divided by 4 is 5, and 5 times 3 is 15. And that's the answer we got before visually. That method works really well when the denominator is a factor of the whole, in this case 20. Another way to write this problem is to change the word of to a multiplication symbol. 3/4 of 20 really means 3/4 times 20. And we can write 20 over 1. So now it becomes a fraction multiplication problem. And we multiply the numerators, so 3 times 20 equals 60. And multiply the denominators, 4 times 1 equals 4. And this can be simplified to 15. Now this method works best when the denominator of the fraction is not a factor of the whole. So let's see an example of that. So what happens if we need to find 3/4 of 18, for example? Well, 4 is not a factor of 18. So if we divide 18 by 4, we won't get a whole number. So in that case, it might be easier to change this to a fraction multiplication problem. So that would be 3/4 times 18 over 1. 3 times 18 is 54. 4 times 1 is 4. We can reduce this. 2 goes into the numerator and the denominator. 54 divided by 2 is 27. And 4 divided by 2 is 2. We have an improper fraction, so we have to change that to a mixed number. And 2 goes into 27 13 times, with 1 left over, so the fraction part is 1/2. So 3/4 of 18 is 13 1/2.